A 21st century thief breaking into files, not into metal safes. The mysterious group Anonymous has struck again with a warning. This is just the beginning.
Anonymous just revealed a shocking secret. Aliens might be living right among us. In today's digital world, thieves target online data, and Anonymous is hinting that there's more to come.
Well, in any computer crime, you want to look for the digital footprints. So you look to trace the incoming traffic that's attacking the computer, and you look to see where the file was exported to.
Now they've switched gears to something even bigger. The possibility that we're not alone in the universe. Are we truly ready to face what's out there? Let's expose the mind-blowing secrets Anonymous is desperate to reveal. Exposing hidden truths. In today's world, a digital thief goes after online data, not locked safes. The well-known group Anonymous has made headlines again, warning us that this is just the beginning. Speaking directly to the American public, they say that police officers who break the law should be held accountable just like everyone else. If they're not, they might start believing they can do anything they want. Some might think that only a few corrupt officers are the problem. But what about the others who see these crimes happening and do nothing to stop them? A whistleblower steps forward, ready to expose a deep-seated conspiracy that could shatter public trust in the police forever. Then, Anonymous switches gears and shares their latest discovery about aliens. For decades, people have wondered whether we are alone in the universe. Think about all the space missions, NASA's explorations, the International Space Station, SpaceX's launches, and Blue Origin's projects. These efforts are all about finding out if other life forms exist, or if humans are the only ones in the vast universe. Experts believe this search could go on for generations, with billions of dollars being spent. But what if the answers we're looking for are actually much closer than we think? For many years, there have been rumors that aliens might not only exist, but might even be living among us without us noticing. In the past, these were seen as wild theories with no real proof. But recently, Anonymous has brought this topic back into the spotlight, showing surprising evidence that could change how we see our place in the universe. When it comes to aliens, many things remain unspoken. But the impact of what Anonymous has revealed could be huge. They suggest that governments might have been hiding the truth about extraterrestrial life for decades. Why would they do that? Are they afraid of causing panic? Or is there something more to this secrecy? As Anonymous continues to release more information, it makes us wonder what else is out there, hidden from our view. But the story doesn't stop there. Anonymous claims that these hidden truths aren't just about aliens. They also involve secret dealings, classified documents, and information that could change everything we know about our world. They ask us to look closer, to question more, and to not take everything at face value. The more they reveal, the more questions arise, and it seems we're only scratching the surface. Let's dive into the exploration of old films and documents that talk about unidentified aerial phenomena, things spotted in the sky that we just can't explain. What did the team uncover in their search, and how might these findings change the way we see the universe? In today's world, information is everywhere, and everyone wants to know more. Information is like money now. It's incredibly valuable. But even though many of us are eager to learn as much as we can, there are still barriers. Usually, those who hold power also hold the keys to this information. They decide who gets to know what and when. This creates a big gap. People with money and power use information to get ahead, while others have to make do with what they can find. But here's where online activists come in. These people work hard to gather and share information to make it available for everyone. They push against the usual rules and sometimes take big risks to ensure that everyone has a fair chance to learn. This isn't just a fight for knowledge. It's a fight for power and control, and for the ability to shape the world around us. Through their efforts, these activists are doing more than just filling in the blanks. They are challenging the entire system that decides who gets to know what. New battles are brewing, hidden yet powerful. The dark forces of digital activism. To help you understand some lesser-known sides of our world, we aim to uncover the hidden motives that powerful people often try to keep secret. In the world of digital activism, one group that stands out is Anonymous. The people behind this name remain unknown, which shows just how skilled they are. Unlike a traditional organization, Anonymous is a loose group of activists and researchers who work online. Many believe that Anonymous is just a name that different hackers use to hide their identities from the law and the public. These individuals may not even work together directly, but come together from time to time for common causes. Anonymous is often associated with both online and real-world protests. They fight for free speech, stand against corruption, and oppose censorship. Sometimes, the group organizes online attacks against major websites to expose the hidden, corrupt activities of wealthy and powerful people. Members of the group, often called Anons, are known for wearing Guy Fawkes masks in public, which is a nod to the historical figure involved in the gunpowder plot. To keep their identities hidden, some Anons use tools to change their voices or rely on text-to-speech software when posting videos online. They deliver messages to the public, like one that demanded police officers be held accountable for their crimes, suggesting that without consequences, these officers might feel they are above the law. The statement also questions the integrity of other officers who witness such wrongdoings, but do nothing to stop them. Over the years, Anonymous has been linked to or claimed responsibility for many important cyber incidents. For example, in March 2011, they released a large number of internal emails from the Bank of America. These emails exposed alleged unfair and discriminatory mortgage practices by the bank, highlighting their broader mission to reveal injustices and push for honesty and accountability from those in power. In the same year, the group launched a major cyber attack on Sony Computer Entertainment. This happened soon after Sony took legal action against a well-known hacker and software developer named George Hotz. George had created and shared a program that allowed PlayStation users to run their own custom-made applications on their devices. The attack had serious consequences, as the group managed to shut down the entire PlayStation network and took control of various parts of Sony's digital operations. Since then, the group has been closely watched. In fact, in 2012, Time magazine named them one of the 100 most influential groups in the world, even though no one knows who they really are. The group doesn't have a central leader or a clear set of rules. In simple terms, any hacker can put on a Guy Fawkes mask and start their own battle against what they see as unfair or unjust, claiming to be part of the group. Small groups of these hackers might team up to launch their digital campaigns aimed at social causes. In the end, their actions are driven by personal or shared beliefs, with each member or group deciding what they think is right or wrong. Working together towards a common goal is often possible. Many reports suggest that most followers of Anonymous hold moderate views. Generally, they only engage in hacking activities when they see something seriously wrong or when they believe there's a misuse of power. They often aim to uncover hidden information they think the public should know about. Sometimes these hackers come together to support one of their own. For example, in January 2010, they targeted YouTube after it shut down the account of an anonymous member who had shared music on his channel. This shows that Anonymous may have many different reasons to join a cause. But one thing is certain: once they set their sights on a target, they are relentless in their pursuit. The sky above holds more stories than we know. The huge frontier of exoplanets. But this isn't the most surprising part. When it comes to exoplanets, if you have an interest in astronomy or space, you might know about the 7 or 8 planets in our solar system. It's easy to think these are the only planets that exist, but the truth is, there are countless more planets outside our solar system. This challenges what we know about the universe and broadens our understanding of all the celestial bodies that are out there. When you look up at the night sky, you see a beautiful view filled with countless twinkling stars. This sight has fascinated people for hundreds of years, making many wonder if those faraway stars have their own planets, just like our sun does. After all, Our sun is just one star among many, so it makes sense that other stars could have planets orbiting around them too. For a long time, this idea was only a guess, because scientists didn't have the right tools or technology to prove it. They could only imagine what might be out there, limited by the equipment they had at the time. But things began to change as new and better technology came along, like the James Webb Space Telescope. This powerful new telescope has completely changed how we understand space. With this incredible tool, astronomers have found more than 5,000 exoplanets, planets that orbit stars other than our sun. Each one of these planets could hold secrets that help us learn more about the universe. These discoveries are not just important for science. They help us understand our place in the universe and push the limits of what we know. An exoplanet is just a planet that circles a star outside of our solar system. For many years, these planets felt completely out of reach, too far away to see or study with the tools we had. But as technology has improved, what once seemed impossible is now within our grasp. It's rare for astronomers to actually see an exoplanet like we can see Saturn with a home telescope. However, a method called direct imaging has confirmed a few of these distant planets. Most of the time, though, we find exoplanets indirectly by using powerful telescopes and other special tools designed to look deep into space. But here's the thing, the exoplanets we've found are only a tiny sample of what might actually be out there. So far, we've only explored a small part of our galaxy, and this hints that the real number of exoplanets could be in the tens of thousands, maybe even more, especially as we keep launching new telescopes and improving our technology. At first, most of the exoplanets discovered were big gas giants, much like Jupiter. But over time, scientists have also found many smaller planets, some even close to the size of Earth, and others that are less than half as wide as our planet. Finding these smaller, Earth-like planets has reignited excitement about the possibility that they could support life. Initially, many thought these planets were too close to their stars to have any chance of being habitable. They imagined them as harsh, lifeless places, but this view is starting to change. Now, more scientists believe that some of these planets might actually have the right conditions to support life, sparking a lot of interest and speculation about what kinds of life could be out there. Our search in the stars is revealing new truths. Life beyond Earth. As our telescopes get better and our ways of looking into the universe become more refined, we are constantly learning more about these far-off worlds. Each new discovery adds to what we know and suggests that the universe is far more varied and crowded than we ever thought. But that's not the most surprising part. The study of exoplanets not only helps us understand the universe better, but also brings us closer to answering big questions about whether we are alone in the cosmos and if there are other places where life could exist beyond Earth. Exoplanets are often found close to their stars, which are usually cooler and dimmer than our sun. This means that planets near these stars could potentially support life. For example, there's a group of stars called Gliese 667 in the Scorpius constellation, just 23 light-years away. Gliese 667 is known for having several planets that might be able to support life around a smaller star. The main star of the group, Gliese 667a, has about 73% of our sun's mass and only 12% of its brightness. The smallest star in the group, Gliese 667c, is a red dwarf, much smaller than our sun. Even though these stars are smaller and not as bright, they have many planets around them. Gliese 667c, for example, has 6 planets, and 3 or 4 of them might be just right for life. These planets are called super-Earths, which means they are bigger than Earth but not as big as giants like Saturn or Jupiter. They're thought to be made of rock, or a mix of rock and ice. There's more and more evidence that these planets could have life, although proving this is still hard. It's not clear if there are advanced life forms there, but the idea that these planets could have some kind of life is something scientists are actively looking into. But this wasn't the worst part. These discoveries make us think differently about life in the universe. They show that places very different from Earth might still be able to support life. This is really exciting and raises many questions questions about what life might be like on other planets. These far-off worlds are now key areas of interest for both ongoing and future missions to explore space. Life's basic ingredients might suggest that alien life forms are already here and growing. Who knows? Maybe these organisms are just starting out and on the verge of evolving. When we think about encounters with aliens, one of the main things that come to mind is the sighting of mysterious flying objects, often called UFOs. For many years, UFOs have been seen as a classic sign of alien visits. People believe these strange objects are used by aliens to come to Earth, scout around, or even try to communicate with us. Even though there isn't any widely accepted proof that these objects exist, many people claim to have seen them. For decades, most stories about UFOs have come from everyday people. These people strongly insist they have seen something alien, even though their stories are often ignored because they lack physical proof. More recently, a hacker associated with the group Anonymous revealed some details about UFO encounters involving military personnel. The hacker also highlighted the story of Ryan Graves, a former Navy pilot. Graves has openly talked about his experience with a UFO during an official mission, describing it as possibly the most significant event of his life. Back on Earth, some mysteries still wait for us. The USS Roosevelt's unexplained visitors. The event took place in 2015 when Graves and his team were on the USS Roosevelt, a Navy aircraft carrier powered by nuclear energy. While carrying out routine operations near Virginia Beach, they picked up some strange radar signals that didn't seem to belong. To check it out, they sent 2 planes to the area. What happened next was quite remarkable. As the planes got closer, the lead pilot saw an object speed past his aircraft. The object was described as a dark cube inside a clear sphere, with the cube's edges just touching the inside of the sphere. When the crew returned, they were shocked and reported a close call with the object. There was no clear explanation for what they had seen, leading their team to file a safety report. They kept recording these strange sightings, noting that the aircraft they saw had no wings, no exhaust, and no cockpit, yet they were able to fly. This only added to the mystery of their findings. Mark and his team confirmed that they had seen these UFOs many times over several months. However, most pilots who had similar experiences often chose to keep quiet because they were afraid of the consequences. It is known that the government keeps records of all UFO sightings, especially those reported by military personnel. There are reports of more than 10,000 such incidents, some going back to the middle of the 20th century. Despite all this evidence, the government usually stays silent, which has led to a lot of mistrust. Many people think that powerful figures are trying to keep the public unaware of these events. In response, hackers from the group Anonymous have hinted that the hidden information will eventually become public. The big question is, when will that happen? To make things even more interesting, this group has also been looking into the possibility that aliens might actually come to Earth. While this might sound unbelievable to some, there is some support for the idea. Some people even think that aliens could already be here among us. One of the believers is Sam Tripoli, a comedian and podcaster. He has been openly sharing his belief that aliens are present on Earth. In a 2022 episode of The Joe Rogan Experience, he told a fascinating story. He talked about Operation High Jump, a mission by the United States Navy in 1946 to 1947. Officially, this mission, led by Admiral Richard E. Byrd, aimed to find out if it was possible to set up a naval base in Antarctica, which was mostly unknown and covered in ice at that time. Operation High Jump was a huge project with 13 warships, 33 aircraft, and about 4,700 troops. It was one of the biggest attempts to explore and possibly use Antarctica for strategic purposes during that time. The largest Arctic military mission in history still stands as the biggest of its kind. But just 9 months after starting, the entire group of explorers came back home. According to records kept by Admiral Byrd, the team's leader and his crew had an incredible experience in Antarctica. They came across extraterrestrial beings. In a surprising twist, it turns out they also encountered UFOs controlled by the Nazis. Sam shared that the Nazis had gained access to alien technology during World War II through some kind of agreement with these beings. However, for reasons that remain a mystery, this advanced technology was never used in the war. Sam also mentioned that the senior officers from the mission later reported back to President Truman, confirming that extraterrestrial life was real. As a result, President Truman allowed these beings to conduct experiments on humans in the United States. What do you think about the agreement between Eisenhower and extraterrestrials? Share your thoughts, like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more.